There we go. I'm sorry about that. I was muted. I wasn't actually muted. What was happening was there was a Windows update last night. And when I went to bed, I set the computer to update and shut down, and I walked away. And then I didn't remember. Oop, why am I hearing myself? Oh, no. There. Okay, we can mute myself there. What was happening was that there was a Windows update, and I forgot about it. And the thing about Windows Update is it tends to, yeah, no, you can hear me now. It tends to switch my microphone settings so that it's not set to the correct microphone. It's set to some other microphone. But okay, so what I was saying, and I was asking you, but you weren't able to hear me. Nobody was able to hear me. But what I was asking was if last time that we played this, and Mogul, Thursdays, no language. Could you remove that one message, please? Remember, when we're doing Tolkien streams, you have to kind of keep it a little bit more PG-13. I was asking whether or not we finished the Gandalf section. Looks like we haven't. Thank you, Moog. We had finished the Aragorn section. Hey, Wasted Quake Ranger, how's it going? Yeah, we finished the Aragorn campaign, which ended at like Helm's Deep. And then we went on to Gandalf. And I mean, there's no doubt that Gandalf's section may end in Moria. We stopped just before entering Moria. However, it's very likely that because it's the Two Towers, and Moria is not even a Two Towers thing, that's Fellowship of the Ring, that it will have him as Gandalf the White, and that will get to play as Gandalf the White. I hope so, at least. Otherwise, there's not a lot of purpose to it. See, what happened was when there were the games that are based off of like the books, and then there are the games that are based off of like the films. And this one and the one that we played on like PlayStation 2 were both based on the movie. And what was decided by the developers at the time was that because the Fellowship of the Ring did not have that many action set pieces, that it wasn't going to get its own game. Why is this all wobbly? All right, let me fix this first. Fix it. There we go. So how's it going, Wasted Quake Ranger? So yeah, they decided that the Fellowship of the Ring wouldn't get its own game, and that they would do the Two Towers. But then they put in plenty of levels in both versions that were Fellowship of the Ring levels. And, you know, like we played one game already that was just the Fellowship of the Ring game, that starts in the Shire and ends at you know, the breaking of the Fellowship. And that had plenty of like action and stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean there was stealth stuff too. And that's really sort of the nature of the Lord of the Rings, is that there's not a lot of fighting until the Fellowship is actually put together. And if we look at the book, if we examine the book, here's the first one, Fellowship of the Ring. And the Fellowship actually forms in a chapter called The Ring Goes South. Hey, Ted. So the Ring Goes South is the first time that there's like actual like fighting and stuff. So this section here, the thicker part, is everything before that. And this section here is everything after that. So the more creative gaming developers have managed to they've managed to make action stuff out of the Fellowship of the Ring, like the game we play where you you fought spiders in the Old Forest, even though there really weren't spiders in the Old Forest in the book. And of course, you had Old Man Willow as a boss, But it seems to me though that like a true book one game, and when I say book one, I don't mean the Fellowship of the Ring. I mean the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring. Hey there, Gray. Definitely not the peeps behind this NES game. Well, I mean, at least, but that did have plenty of action. It wasn't very well programmed, but it did have plenty of action, and that was only based off of some of the Fellowship. It stopped in Lothlorien. You didn't even get to walk around Lothlorien. The final boss was the Balrog, because we all know that Aragorn fought the Balrog, right? Hard to say that without laughing, right? But yeah, when you're turning something that's literature into a different medium, obviously you have to adapt to the medium. And people use that as an excuse for everything. Like if I point out something that the movies did that I feel was a bad choice, they'll say, "Oh, but movies are not books." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know that, but that was still a bad choice." You know what I mean? There were still some bad choices, and there were some great choices too. There were things that changed in the movies that were good changes. But gaming is very different because it's interactive. And because it's interactive, you have to give people things to do. So, like a great example of a game that generally followed the lore of well, not in this case, it was The Hobbit. Tolkien's lore very well was the Hobbit game that we played on. I played it on the GameCube. It was on a few different things though, and they added a lot of running and jumping and extra fighting action and stuff like that, because you have to give it, and collecting things, and because you have to give people things to do. If the first scene was true to the book, it would just be like after Bilbo leaves his house, it would just be him running straight for the Green Dragon and then going inside, and then Gandalf arriving, and then they would all just go off towards the part with the trolls. So giving Bilbo like a few things to do and getting to explore around the Shire and not have it be so rushed made a lot of sense in that case, Yeah, instead of fly, you fools. Now, I mean, here's the thing. In a situation where there's a Balrog, right? A situation where there's a Balrog coming at you, somebody's gonna die, right? Like, there's no way that everybody survives that situation. Let's check something real quick. Okay. So it had to be Gandalf because he's the only one there that's gonna like come back to life, right? Like, technically Legolas would come back to life, but he wouldn't be there anymore. Like, he would be in the Undying Lands, Technically, he'd be out of the game. It had to be Gandalf. So if it was Aragorn, he would just be dead. And that would be it. There would be no Return of the King. There would be no... a lot of things just wouldn't happen. It would just be terrible, You don't mind the Gandalf butterfly scene on top of Orthanc. Well, here's my feelings on it. I do like that if you listen carefully to what he's whispering to the butterfly, you can hear that he's speaking Sindarin, and that you could hear that he's basically saying, "Hey, go get Gwei here." I don't mind that they had Gandalf directly ask for help from the Eagles. And there's two reasons I don't mind that. One is that they had already made the decision when making The Lord of the Rings to not include Radagast the Brown. And considering that he's not really a major character, I can understand them not including Radagast the Brown in The Lord of the Rings. So Gwei here had to come somehow, right? Like, he has to show up. The other reason that I don't mind it so much is that, like I said, they hadn't done The Hobbit yet. So, because they haven't done a Hobbit yet, we wouldn't. A person who's watching the film and doesn't know the books, which is most of the people. I mean, the books are very popular, but there were a lot of very young people who were just like, "Oh, this movie looks cool," and they got into the books afterwards. The thing about it is that because he didn't get to, and Peter Jackson wanted to do The Hobbit first, by the way, but it was a complicated thing, and he didn't get to do it till afterwards, and then he didn't want to do it. So, but because they hadn't done The Hobbit, we don't know that Gandalf is sort of like out of favors with the Eagles, because he was owed something because he helped Gwaihir in the past, and Gwaihir more than made up for it. So when it comes to the scene where Gwaihir takes him away from Orthanc, it's a favor for Radagast. When it comes to the scene where Gwaihir scoops up Gandalf after he's resurrected and brings him to Lothlorien, that is a favor for Galadriel. When it comes to Gwaihir and his two brothers flying Gandalf into Mordor to retrieve Frodo and Sam, that was different, because if you read what Gwaihir said, he said that I will bury you where you will, whether you were made of stone. And that is a reference to earlier when, after the Orthanc scene in the book where Gwaihir complained that Gandalf was heavy and that he's not a pack animal to be, or a beast of burden to be carrying around heavy wizards. And when he carried him away from Zaraxagil, it's a different situation, because he said that Gandalf felt lighter. And part of that was probably that he was, just returned to life, and he was like naked, and all he had really on him was his staff and his sword. But also, he's also gripping him in his talons, which is different from having somebody ride on your back. I mean, it's sort of like if you were to pick up a kid, right? Carrying them in your arms is easier than having them like on your back. Depending, I guess. And I just wrote a whole thing about Sam carrying Frodo today. Not related to this, but anyway, it was about the weight of the ring and everything. I just wrote that today, and it'll be in episode 162. But what I'm getting at here is I don't mind that. What you said, Wasted Quake Ranger. I'm agreeing with you. However, my issue with that scene with the eagle and all of the scenes with the eagles in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings, and the scenes with the eagles in the Hobbit films, and the scenes with the eagles in The Rings of Power, I have the same issue across the board. Let me see. Can anybody in the chat guess what is my one issue with the depiction of the Eagles of Manwë in all of these media, in all 6 Peter Jackson films, in the Amazon TV show? I have one common complaint about the Eagles. And it's especially true for Rings of Power, because it would have solved some of the issues that they were having if they did it right. And also, they're not beholden to the Peter Jackson version, so they didn't have to basically do the same thing with the Eagles. So let's see. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, or can guess what is the common problem that I have with the Eagles? It plays into the Orthanc scene. It plays into the Mordor scene. It plays into the Hobbit. It plays into everything to do with Numenor. Yeah. An eagle being at large might make it impossible for them to transverse long distances. Hey, Wayne. That's true if we're thinking of them as just animals, Born Joker. But we have to remember that Tolkien considered them to be incarnate angelic creatures just like Gandalf. So we could say, well, it's not really realistic for, an old man like Gandalf to survive a big fall like he did in the Fellowship of the Ring, and then to fight a Balrog for 11 days and nights after that and only die afterwards. Like, the fall should have killed him and the Balrog, right? But they're angelic they're incarnate angels, so it's a little different. Moogle, you got it exactly right. The eagles don't speak in the films. The eagles don't speak in the TV show, and they should be speaking because they are not birds. They're shaped like birds, but they're not birds. I'm actually gonna, yeah. You have to understand yin and yang. If you create a power, then a similar power rises to resist it. I love that you brought that up, by the way. I love that you brought up the Zoroastrian theme of yin and yang. I love that because it so applies to so much of what Tolkien wrote. And while Tolkien was not a follower of Zoroaster, he was certainly cognizant of his teachings and put some of the themes into it. Now, I have not written extensively about this, but my friend Matt Richardson, you've probably seen him on my show, The Council of Tolkien. He's usually the one on my left. And, I don't remember it either, Wayne, whether the eagles spoke in those cartoons. I'm going to watch them again at some point soon, actually. And we'll find out together. It's been a long time since I've watched those. Well, not that long since I watched the Ralph Bakshi film, just maybe like 3 or 4 years. I watched it with June. But anyway, I did not write about yin and yang and the relation to Tolkien, but Matt did. Matt Richardson, he's known as Lore Master on Quora, and he wrote a really, really good article about yin and yang and the themes of Zoroaster inside of Tolkien's work. And it's possible that he communicated telepathically with Gandalf. Well, that's true. However, there are a lot of other scenes where the eagle should speak, especially in the Rings of Power, because Gandalf's not present with any eagles in that. If they would have just, because the eagles show up at the Meneltarma and everybody thinks, oh, they're here. The eagle is here to endorse Pharazôn, and they start chanting his name. And if the eagle would have just said, no, I'm here to endorse Miriel, of course that would have broken the whole story. But anyway, let me go back to the yin yang thing, because I'm so happy that you mentioned it, because Matt wrote a really most excellent article about it, and I actually helped him. I edited the article for him, and I helped him tighten it up a little bit, but it is like 90% him. And his basic theory is that, possibly unintentionally, Tolkien did put the forces of yin and yang into his work, with the personification of yang actually being Tom Bombadil, and the personification of yin being Ungoliant. So, I'm just glad you brought that up, because it's one of my favorite things that Matt wrote, and it was a really good article. And if you want to find it, it's pretty easy to find. You go to Quora, look up Lore Master on Quora, and just search for, Ungoliant or Tom Bombadil, or just search for Zoroaster and you'll find it. But yeah, no, there's absolutely that sort of thought, And the telepathy that you're speaking of is a real thing in Middle-earth and the Undying Lands. It's called Osanwakanta. Osanwakanta in Elvish, it means the exchange of thoughts. And the thing about it is Gandalf is pretty adept at it. He definitely uses it to communicate with Galadriel a few times, especially towards the end of the book. The eagles being of the same order of being as Gandalf, they would have the same ability, although having a real body like Gandalf does and like Gwaihir does dampen your ability to do that. So it becomes something where you have to be a little bit more disciplined in it. But if telepathy was at play, then Gandalf didn't need a butterfly. So basically, and it's okay in the scene the way that it was filmed, because we just see Gandalf sort of like leap off, and then he comes up on Gwaihir and he says to Saruman, "There is only one Lord of the Ring, and he does not share power." And then they fly off. Hey, Walter. I ever played the Divide and Conquer mod from Medieval 2 Total War? No, I've never played Medieval 2 Total War at all. Is that like an RTS sort of situation? But anyway, so there wasn't like the conversation between the two of, okay, I'm not gonna, where are we headed? I'm not gonna bring you all the way to Rivendell, And Gandalf says, just drop me off in Rohan. So that makes sense, but definitely, like, I feel like if Peter Jackson or the people who make the Amazon show, if they had the eagles speak, even if it's only in like one scene or whatever, it doesn't have to be in the Orthanc scene, because maybe it would not have worked there. But if they showed that they're capable of speech, then I think less people would be confused, and they wouldn't think that they're just some big birds that Gandalf has some sort of control over. They wouldn't be asking as many questions about, well, why didn't they just fly the eagles into Mordor? Which doesn't make sense on a lot of levels. I've tackled that so many times, and each time that I get that question, I try to answer it differently, because there really are 101 reasons why that doesn't work. It doesn't work from a literary point. It doesn't work, from a logistical point. It just doesn't work. Hey, Joe Quake. You think there is a movie scene where Elrond is conversing with Galadriel long distance? Yes, that's good point, Joe. So 100%. It happens with Arwen and Aragorn too. Remember, it's a scene that's not in the book, but remember when Aragorn fell off the cliff and Legolas and Gimli thought he was dead, and then he has that vision of Arwen. That's the Asan Wakenta, and it's especially true to. And by the way, most of the information about how Asan Wakenta works is found in this book right here, The Nature of Middle-earth, and this was not out when the movies were made. So the fact that they not only did that, but they got it right was pretty amazing. Like Peter Jackson had like a lucky guess at that, because that information, that little bookshelf down there is kind of broken. I'm going to need to fix it again, and I can't do that right now. But anyway, they showed it where it was like a dream, and when it comes to mortals, because all beings that have souls are capable of Asan Wakenta. We're all capable of telepathy. Elves, Maiar, Valar, men, hobbits, dwarves, all capable of it. But with mortal men, he wrote that it's difficult to send a vision to a mortal man and have him understand it. And that's why they do it when the man is sleeping. And I just wrote about this today. I wrote about Frodo's prophetic dreams, because that's how the Valar choose to share their thoughts into the minds of mortals. That's how elves do it too, is they send us dreams. It's also how Gandalf did it to the elves in the early days. He gave them fair dreams and visions, because when a person who is an incarnate and who is not disciplined in the exchange of thoughts, they if they see something, they're not going to understand that it's a vision. They're going to think it's real. So Aragorn having this vision of Arwen, saying it's a dream, and then having her reply, then it's a good dream, and then having him wake up like that. Really good scene, even though it wasn't in the book. Really good. They say that great minds think alike. In my experience, great minds are not always thinking alike. but they can come to an understanding. And if you ever want to see what I'm talking about, just come to the Council of Tolkien and watch me and Matt and Sid bicker, and then bicker and argue over some small tiny point that doesn't matter that much, and then still be the best of friends because we agree to disagree. That's interesting, Walt. I had played. I don't know if you're familiar with Civilization, but I had heavily played Civilization 5. I have like thousands of hours in it. I became mildly obsessed for a while, and there was a really, really good Middle Earth mod for that too. Um, Although I found that if you were to play it, you had to play it only against other Middle Earth civilizations. Because if you mix them in with the real world civilizations, the Middle Earth ones were just way too overpowered. They were just ridiculous. And it was cool because it had all the different nations and everything. Trying to understand a book can be very intricate without access to the author. 100%. Now, thankfully, one book that we do have that is greatly useful. Yeah, that thing's broken. I'm going to have to either order a new one or get some wood glue on it. We do have access to this, though. This is a really big book, and it's the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, because so many people wrote to him, and he answered so many things, and that's just another great resource that there are people who had access to it. Unfortunately, not all of his letters were published, and that's the revised edition that has a lot of new letters. There is a letter that he wrote in 1966 that just was revealed to the public like a couple of weeks ago. And it answers a really, really big question that a lot of people have had, which was in the very beginning of The Lord of the Rings, in the second chapter. Samwise is in a pub with a bunch of other people, and he mentions that his cousin Hal had seen some giant figures walking in the distance in the North Farthing that looked like trees. And we always wondered, were those Huorns, which are walking trees? Were they Ents, which are the giants that take care of the trees? Were they trolls? Were they something else? Was Hal lying? Was Hal seeing things? There's so many different interpretations of that. And apparently there was a little girl who wrote to Tolkien in 1966, and he answered her and said they were Ents. So, that's just, really cool. And for whatever reason, that letter was never published in the letters. Even in the revised edition, it was only revealed to us just a few weeks ago, really, and it was up for auction. I don't know. Did we find out how much that went for? Because there was a town in Wales called Crickhowell, which he also said in his letter was the basis of Crickhollow. I don't know if the letter sold or how much the town was trying to get a hold of it. Let's see. It kind of slipped my mind. I was keeping an eye on this auction, and I only realized just now that it must be finished. And I would like to know how much it went for. Wow, so they had estimated in British pounds that this letter was going to go anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 pounds. And it turns out that the final price, it was purchased for 19,050 pounds, which is more than twice the amount that the higher end that they thought. Now, this is from Christie's, which is an auction outfit in the UK, and they don't actually list. Oh, they do. No, they don't. Never. They don't list who actually got the letter, so we don't know who got it. I hope it was the town of Crickhowell. But yeah, but I have the letter up here, and it's to a little girl, and it basically says, thank you for your letter. The walking elms in the beginning of the book were meant to be Ents. They're not Ent wives, though. And he talks about Eddie has been to Wales, and that he based the town of Crickhollow in Buckland on Crickhowell in Wales. And he also mentions that the Ents were there because Gandalf asked them to be there and watch over the Shire, and also that when Merry and Pippin were speaking to Treebeard, that Treebeard actually knew a lot of the stuff they were telling him already. He was just interested to hear their perspective on it. So he knew all about the Shire and all that stuff already, but he wanted to hear it from their mouths, essentially, which I think is very Treebeardish. He likes to talk. He likes to hear other people talk. Anyway, we have a game to play, and I believe we're heading into Moria as Gandalf. We already did it once as Aragorn. Let's come over to here, and let me get the game up. Give me a moment, guys. I don't actually have it up right now. All right. Let's see. Do it. All right, here we go. Now I don't remember if I did like a regular save or like a save state, but here we are, Gandalf, Moria, West Hall, level 4. Oh, so I'm actually inside Moria. I thought I had not gone in it yet. Or this is just the very intro to Moria. What are the black men like half-trolls from Farharad? That line has always baffled you. What on earth was the good professor getting at? Okay, let me bring up the passage. Hold on, I can answer that. Give me one moment. Okay, so this is the chapter, the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. Let me put that into context. Not too soon came their aid to the Rohirrim, for fortune had turned against Eomer, and his fury had betrayed him. By the way, I just read this portion in the last stream. The great wrath of his onset had utterly overthrown the front of his enemies, and great wedges of his riders had passed clear through the ranks of the Southrons, discomforting their horsemen and riding their footmen to ruin. But whenever the Mumakil came, the horses would not go, but blenched and swerved away, and the great monsters were unfought and stood like towers of defense, and the Haradrim rallied about them. And if the Rohirrim at their outset were thrice outnumbered by the Haradrim alone, soon their case became worse, for new strength came now streaming to the field out of Osgiliath. There they had mustered for the sack of the city and the rape of Gondor, waiting on the call of their captain. He now was destroyed, but Gothmog, the lieutenant of Morgul, had flung them into the fray, Easterlings with axes and Varyags of Khan, Southrons and Scarlet, and out of Farharad, black men like half-trolls with white eyes and red tongues. Some now hastened up behind the Rohirrim, others held westward to hold off the forces of Gondor and prevent their joining with Rohan. Okay, so basically, he's saying that Sauron has people from all over the world. He's got the men of the East, he's got the men of the South, and the part of Middle-earth that we're familiar with is actually a really tiny part of Middle-earth. It basically represents Europe, but there is a lot more to Middle-earth. There's the eastern part that represents Asia, there's the southern part, or Harad. Harad just means south. That represents Africa. So he is saying that there are the Southrons and the Haradrim, which are men that come out of essentially Africa, and some of them are, obviously dark skinned. When he says like half trolls, what he's getting at essentially is the same thing that he was getting at back in Bree. That there were men from the south that were half orcs, and essentially what he's getting at in Bree was that Saruman was breeding men and orcs. Somebody in the far south is breeding men and trolls. Could be Sauron. Could be somebody else. We don't know. But that's basically what he's getting at, is that there are troll men hybrids. All right, let me not waste my magic here. Okay, so here's Frodo. Gandalf, what is this place? Moria was one of the greatest kingdoms of the dwarves, but we must move quickly. Aragorn and the others have scoured ahead to find the old stairs. Let us explore these chambers together. Be wary. Oh, he's just off. Wow, okay. He's gone. Thank you, Frodo. Let me see what's over here. Yeah. Okay, that's all crumbling. We're not going up there. I just wonder if I could look around after that stops. All right, there's nothing there. Okay, cool. I do like that it is crumbling. This is something that was missing in some of the other games. Moria was crumbling when they went through it. And that was part of the hazard. By Anor, the dwarves have not built the hall so sturdy at all. If you can hear me, Frodo, meet me in the mazes below. So when he says by Anor, he's invoking the name of the sun, really. Anor is the sun. In Elvish, it literally means great flame. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I mean, Tolkien doesn't use stuff like that lightly. When he says somebody's like half an orc, he means they're like half an orc. When he says they're like half a troll, they're like half a troll, right? Like, they're not... He's not being... He's not using a simile, even though he might go this way. I'm not sure where I need to go. Yeah, I don't know. I could just, like, blast these rocks out of the way, kind of. No. Because he told Frodo to meet him in the mazes below. Now, I know last time we were in this area, when I was playing Aragorn, we did try to translate the ruins that are there. They don't really mean anything. It's a bunch of nonsense. I mean, these are all real runes. It's just they don't actually spell anything. All right, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I can't... No. Maybe I can backtrack to the previous area somehow, but I don't... All right. Oh, I'm... Okay. I don't know what to do. No. Okay, well. Ah, yes, a secret door. Ah, well, there we go. I stopped to bust open the barrels and take some of the money, and it... He found a secret door. But it was interesting that you asked about that. I was like, I just read this part at Battle of the Pelennor Fields. Wait, did I just level up? Yeah, I did. Hold on, let's take care of that. You tend to like these passive ones, but... I don't know. Flame of Anor requires level 12. When hit points reach 0, Gandalf has a 20% chance of reviving. This one's not supposed to use swords, according to who? All damaging spells do +1 damage. Let's get that, actually. Alright. And I should also be able to get an attribute. Here we are. I mean, I'm gonna put it into strength and accuracy and a little bit of defense too. Who says wizards can't use swords? What, Gary Gygax? What is this? A leather jacket. I don't need that. King's foil I'll take. That's quite a curious statue, isn't it? You picture the Battle of Pelennor Fields as mostly being a fight between men, with the orcs mostly being swept away relatively quickly. Sauron being good at corrupting humans is his main threat. Yeah, and he had the Varyogs, which were mercenaries, and then he had the Easterlings, which were not exactly willingly followers, you know. And this is a curious statue. Obviously, it's a dwarf. And it's interesting that he has a hammer and a sword, so it's probably not Durin. Because Durin is always depicted with an axe. So this might be one of the other, like one of the Durins, not necessarily, you know. Well, they were all the same guy, really. I don't know. This could be anybody, really. If it's supposed to be a depiction of Durin, it should have an axe, not a sword. There are people who think like that, though. Wizards can't use swords. What's stopping them? What's stopping a wizard from using a sword, right? I was like, do you remember, well, that can't be better than the staff I have, could it? Short staff, 2 to 4... It could be, I don't know. Let me, oh, that's not the right button. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. It's like he's dancing. It's because of the bizarre perspective. Alright, so this is a better staff. It's a slightly more damage, 2 to 5 instead of 2 to 4, and it gives me extra wisdom. So I'm gonna equip that. The idea of Gandalf just finding a better staff in Moria is kind of wild. Chainmail. I should definitely... Gandalf really should need armor, but... Right now he has a Brigandine. The chain armor is... Let's see. This is plus 5 melee, plus 4 missile. Plus 7 melee, plus 3 missile. So it's a little less missile, but more melee armor. I'm gonna equip it. Projectiles are a little easy to dodge in this. Well, you know, how many staves did he go through in the film, right? The witch. What do you have there? There's a cape. What do you have there? There's a cape. Oh, I want the King's Foil. That's Athelas Major. Elven Lembaspread. Alright, I don't think I need the cape, but we'll see. Right now I have a regular cape, plus 1 missile armor. Yeah, they're all kind of the same. I do wish that the inventory was a little better. But, yeah, most of the damage you take is from melee stuff, so... Oh, you're talking about wizards using swords. Well, I mean, like I said, Gandalf has always used a sword, I mean, to fight. Although, in the beginning of The Hobbit, he didn't actually have one. I don't know why goblins would have Lembaspread on them. It's kind of silly, but... It should be... Mirovor should be the healing item that they drop, but that's just me. Can you imagine Gandalf wearing sandals? Can you imagine that? And that's an interesting set of runes. Look at that. Yeah, Gandalf had like a few different staves in the films, which is silly. There should be 2. 2 staff, right? The one that I said that he had it with him when he died. That's actually not true earlier, so redact that. The one that he broke when he broke the bridge and dropped the Balrog into it. And then the second one, Galadriel gave him. But let's see if we could get these runes translated. I mean, it's only 2 characters. It's probably meaningless. All of the runes that we've seen in Moria are, you know, so far in this game, they don't actually mean anything. But maybe we can come across something. So I have Appendix E here with the Angrathris runes in front of me. And the one that's on top, I don't know. There are runes that look like that, but it's kind of upside down. I'm not seeing that exact rune there. So I don't think that that's... It looks similar to a U, but it's upside down. And then there's that one that's like sort of like a squarish spiral, and that's why I wanted to get out the book, because I've never seen that. I've never seen that spiral. That might not be a rune, it might just be decorative. I think that's just decorative. I don't think it's meant to communicate anything. Yeah, you know what's funny? Born Joker, I remember when I was a kid, one of the, well, still, but when I was a kid, one of the video games that I loved was Mortal Kombat. And I remember seeing the movie version, and oh wow, that wasn't good. That wasn't great, was it? And there were these symbols during the credits, and they were the same type of symbols that were used in cheat codes for Mortal Kombat 3. And I remember trying to write it down, but they give you're supposed to have 6 of them in a row. And the first 5 were symbols that were used in the game, and then the last one was not. So it's like they make you think that you're getting some kind of cheat code, and it turns out you're not. I have a heal somewhere, don't I? Actually, I think this is the heal. Yeah. There we go. All right, we'll stick to the lightning, but that one orc got a hold of me there. I wonder if this is where Pippin threw the rock and then these goblins came out. Tolkien does have a thing about people throwing rocks, right? Bilbo throws rocks at birds. Boromir threw rocks in the lake that wakened the Watcher in the Water. And Pippin throwing a rock in a well. You like Street Fighter more? I like them both. I actually have been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6 recently. If you come by to my Twitch channel on Mondays, I play Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I didn't use the combat codes all that often, but I thought it was cool that the symbols were in the movie, and I thought I was getting like a cool code or something, and then it turned out it was nothing. It was 5 symbols that you could do in the game, and then 1 that you couldn't. Okay, that switch must have opened something somewhere. Here we go. But yeah, who do you play in Street Fighter? Out of curiosity. I don't need a lever. Oh. They're just pouring out of this hole, huh? I'll take the mushrooms. Oh, I didn't actually get them. I can't actually get over there. How many goblins are going to come out of this? Because I actually just started playing Street Fighter Online, Street Fighter 6 Online. And I decided I think my main character is Aki. Yeah, Sam threw an apple at Bill Fernie. It wasn't a rock. I mean, that probably would have killed the guy. But yeah. Oh, you're talking about like the old Street Fighter games. Okay. Yeah, you could overcome anybody with enough skill. It's true. I need to heal. Oh, that's not the button to be pressing. There we go. All right. So this led to... Can I go through there? No. All right. So that wasn't the way to go. You know, Moria was less confusing when I was Aragorn. This is indicative of the fact that Gandalf got lost in Moria. Maybe that other door is open now. Let's try that. Yeah, I've always actually really liked fighting games, and I was always into like King of Fighters and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Fatal Fury and all that stuff. Yeah, maybe this door? Yes, this door's open now. Whoa, it's Goblin Town in here. Yeah, the first time I saw Street Fighter was at a video store. Yes, that's right. There were places you would actually physically go to rent movies. That was across the street from my house in New York City, and they had the arcade machine there. Do I need this clasp? Might be good. And I'd seen fighting games before, but never like that. +1. Where does that go? Oh, it goes there. Well, defense is better than melee armor. Frodo has passed this way. I must hurry. Now, see, now they've gotten pretty far away from both the book and the movie because it's like Frodo has somehow run ahead in Moria. He's completely separated from Gandalf. The rest of the Fellowship is who knows where, right? Would you ever consider doing live question answering? You know, I have considered it. I did a little bit of it when I had to stream from my phone because my PC was out of commission. The only thing about it, Gandalf discovers Ultima RPG menus. What's up, Almighty Santa? The only thing about it is that, there's ring mail here. Inside that bucket? Okay, strange. +6 melee, +3 missile? That's not as good. Is that sometimes people ask questions, and I'll have a quick answer most of the time, but sometimes there's actually quite a bit of research that goes into answering a person's question. So I don't know that, like, if live we could always give the most satisfying answers. Let's see what's over here. But of course, anytime I'm live, you can feel free to ask me a question. You need not wait for a specific moment. I mean, I already fielded a few questions today. I didn't really want the shoes, I wanted the money. Oh, these guys really take chunks out of you, huh? Alright. We haven't had that many trolls. We had trolls for a brief period. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot of... Let's try to bottleneck them. Oh, I was like, what? They can't use stairs? Is this RoboCop? I'm pretty close to a level up as well. I don't necessarily want to go down there until I'm healed. The brief period was like 5 weeks, where I was streaming from my phone, mostly doing Tolkien streams, because we were raising money for the new computer. We had some people come in here who had poor intentions, and it was kind of a problem for a little while. Moderators most excellently took care of it. I think that was a specific group of people that kept making new accounts and kept coming back. But for the most part, we don't get a lot of problems. Alright. Ooh. Thought I was standing far back enough, but apparently not. Alright, let's see what's over here. Alright, there's money. The idea of gems just being currency is kind of crazy, right? But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. Like I said, I just whenever the trolls came through, I ignored it, and then oh wow, okay, you know, and then one of the moderators would take care of it. There's a troll. Alright, that's great. Where did these guys all come from? Alright, this is a problem. There's enough trolls in the game. Well, there's one right here. I am out of mana. We have to retreat a little bit. You know, come to think of it, look at Gandalf. Like, he's supposed to be Gandalf the Grey, but he's... Right now, he's more like Gandalf the Periwinkle. Oh. Good. Sort of a pinkish gray, right? Bluish gray. Oh! I didn't think he would chase me that far. Get him to swing his hammer. Alright. It's a dangerous situation. Yeah, speaking of trolls, right? What was the line, the way that Aragorn said it? They have a cave troll. Oh, I got him. Alright. A mantle. Wait, hold on. Diamond Warg Collar. That's green, so it's like a legendary thing. Choker's garbage. I don't need that. Most of this stuff is trash. Diamond Warg Collar might be good. +1 accuracy, +15 hit points. Absolutely, we'll use that. This is just giving me 1 defense. Crazy enemy like that. Glad he dropped some good stuff there. I mean, if you could believe that 3 swords of Gondolin, including 2 that were very important, could be found in a troll horde in Eriador, then there's no reason to believe that, you know, something really cool might be on a troll in Moria. Okay, that's shuttered. We're not getting through that. Yeah, we have Gandalf the Periwinkle here. This is where the troll was. And, oh god, that's so many orcs. Alright. Okay. Alright, Kingsfoil's a good find. Oh. There's these traps around. Alright, now this is a different statue. Now this is a dwarf that appears to be carrying a shield and what I would say is a hammer, a war hammer. So once again, it's probably not Durin. These could be just referencing, they could be depictions of what are the dwarf lords, the 7 dwarf lords. Thank you for that, game. Alright. Money and mushrooms. I don't know who decided to put a bunch of mushrooms in a treasure chest, but I'm willing to bet that it's the door over here that opened. Let's see. I don't want to go through. Yeah, it's open, alright. I don't want to go through that just yet. I want to see what's further over here. There's also a switch right there. Wait, is it me or did the sound get very crackly? Alright, it just looped back. Oh, okay. Hey, Matt Damon, how's it going? Ah, that was awful. That was terrible. Why does Gandalf have to deal with that kind of nonsense? Oh, he's so close to leveling up, too. There we go, we hit another level. Alright, let's, Alright, I really wanted to try to see if we can get Flame of Anor, but we're not level 12 yet, so I'm going to continue to put points into probably either Wisdom or maybe something in here. I could update the healing or make the lightning better. This is fireworks, thunderstrike, summon eagle. That's obscene. That is obscene that they put that in this game. Sunburst. Sunburst. He is a wielder of the Flame of Anor. Stuns opponents and damages trolls. If it's a sunburst, it should destroy trolls. If there's actual sun light in there, it would destroy trolls instantly. Higher levels increase damage and stun time. I think I'm just gonna, we'll just upgrade the lightning blast that I've been doing. I'm gonna put it all into defense because he's been getting clobbered by the thing. Yeah. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. Now, what system is that on? I seem to remember that game. I don't know what that switch did. I know one switch opened up the grate over here. Alright. Don't really want the clasp. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. No, not SNES. He says Xbox, see? You're thinking of something else. Still getting clobbered, but it's not a very difficult game, so. Alright, cool. Okay, so this is break and sell items. Let's do the whetstone. And then for 75, we can get random items. Let's see. Choker. A quarterstaff. Now we're talking. Mantle. Do one more. What'd I get? Scale mill. 8 melee, 8 missile. That's way better than what I have. Looney Tunes people. Okay. Oh. See, imagine if Gandalf was in Mortal Kombat. That'd be obscene as well, right? Key lime pie. I love key lime pie. Alright, let's equip that for sure. I think the quarterstaff... Oh, yeah. Definitely put that quarterstaff on there. Key lime pie ice cream. Now that's interesting. Oh. The wizard never misses. He just hits the wall behind you. And there's another well there. Are the goblins going to come pouring out of the wells like before? Hopefully not. Oh. Okay. This almost looks like it's a communal sort of dining area. See, I love that they're showing that Moria is not just a mine, that it was a city. Switch. There we go. Ooh. Okay. We have now found 2 better staffs. Staves. In Moria. There we go. Maybe the Phial of Galadriel would turn a troll to stone. Probably not. Because it's not sunlight and moonlight, it's the light of the 2 trees. Which is basically Galadriel is getting the light of the 2 trees like kind of secondhand. Because there's Earendel in the sky, the star, which is actually Earendel, as in Elrond's father. And he's holding a Silmaril, and that's what we're seeing. And she captured the light along with the liquid from her basin. So I don't think it would destroy a troll. They certainly wouldn't like it. But I don't think it would destroy a troll. Now this is a different set of runes than what we've been seeing. So let's see if this means anything, right? Let's see. We might as well, right? Every other time that I've tried to translate the runes that we've seen in Moria, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Alright, so that first one is okay, so that's like a sound. And then the second one, it looks kind of like an A, but not oh, there it is. It's an E. It's a long E. Ni. And then that last one is very distinct. But I don't think having the dots on top of it is correct. Because that is a real rune. There are a few runes that have the dots on top of it. The R sound has it. You know, the I sound has it. The T sound has it. That one does not. That basically looks like a backwards M. Like, it looks like the M, but oh, here it is. It's actually, it's Okay, so... So we got... Noom? Looks like it says Noom. Noom. The light of Laurelin became the light of the sun. Yes, but like I'm saying, we're not talking about like the sun. We're talking about a little bit of light of both trees captured in a gem, giving off light way up high in the sky, and then some of that light being captured in glass with water. So it's sort of diluted is what I'm getting at. Oh, here's Legolas and Frodo. Gandalf, Master Frodo, I'm glad you're in good company. Where are the others? Aragorn has become separated by a cave, and Gimli has gone in search of Balin's tomb. Why would Gimli go in search of Balin's tomb? He doesn't know Balin's dead. Gimli, in the movie, was really interested to go into Moria. And it was, in fact, his idea. In the book, it was not Gimli's idea. It was Gandalf's idea. And Gimli agreed to it. But either way, this is based on the film, so... If we remember, in the film, Gimli was confident that Balin was alive and that they were going to get a warm welcome and there's going to be all this great food and everything. And even coming in and seeing that the situation's not what he thought, I don't think he would automatically think Balin's dead and his tomb is somewhere and I'm going to go looking for it. So that doesn't make any sense, Legolas. You must follow him, Legolas. It is not safe for even a dwarf to wander these halls. Another cave-in is happening. I think these cave-ins would rile up the orcs a lot more than Pippin throwing any rocks, right? We shall not leave you behind, Ranger. What of us, Gandalf? Quickly, Frodo, we must find our way to Balin's tomb. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to be talking about Balin's tomb before finding it. Gandalf certainly had the thought that Balin had probably passed away, but he didn't know for a fact, and certainly Gimli wouldn't know that. Long knife? I don't think so. That's more for Legolas. That is what Legolas's weapon was called, a long knife. You know, aside from his bow, of course. Nope, not what I was trying to do. Now I have no magic. Alright. Now these runes here are too low resolution to really make sense of, and I see some that are not really Tolkien runes. So. I do notice that the AI of the orcs, they do try to surround you, which I think is, you know, that's the way that orcs would behave, so it makes sense to me. Take the Athelis. There's some kind of button or something over there. I'm sure that did something. So I could probably open this door here. This is definitely a different route through Moria than the one that we took when we were playing as Aragorn. It makes sense from a game design perspective to have different characters take different routes through Moria because you wouldn't want it to be so repetitive that you're playing the same thing. However, it doesn't make sense for the Fellowship to so thoroughly split up like that. This actually looks like what Tolkien described as being the hole that Pippin would have thrown the stone into. Not an intact well, but perhaps the remnants of one. I saw... oh boy, there's one of these green guys here. Alright. Yeah, he had a lot of juice to him. suddenly reminded of like the Binding of Isaac. I mean the game, not the Bible story. Where that old DOS PC game got its name, Moria? Was there a DOS PC game called Moria? Did it have to do with the... There were a lot of Tolkien games back then. Some of them are not so great. Again, you know who Richard Garriott is. He created the Ultima games. But before that, he created a simple dungeon crawling game. And he called it a Calabath, which is one of the sections of the Silmarillion. But he was just using the name. He didn't have it based on anything. I thought it might be something. Alright, so... I can get a skill point or an attribute point here. I mean, I can afford both, so we'll get both. Alright. I can sell off some of this stuff, too, to get some money back, because I don't really need all this stuff. But the Moria game that you speak of, is that like was that a Tolkien-based game, or was it just called Moria? I don't know, I was right to be in there. Alright, let's see, can we get the fireworks spell? We can. Alright. Okay. Let's see what's in this region. There was a goblin in that. Just hiding in a bucket. Oh, okay. He's over here somewhere. Well, he's not, but... Okay. You get a little bit of an area of effect with the fireworks, which is good. And we know that Gandalf can do big explosions, big area of effect things. He certainly did that in The Hobbit. So they actually have tactics to a certain extent, the orcs. Yeah, I think when they put the runes together, though, they said just grab some runes from the appendix. Well, what should we spell out? Ah, no, it doesn't need to actually spell anything. Nobody's going to check. Nobody's going to actually check. Right here I am checking. Alright, there's actually Uruk-hai in here, which is not very lore-friendly, but okay. I'm like stuck on the door here. There shouldn't be Uruk-hai in Moria, though. But the Gandalf path through here is a lot more pressing switches and buttons. Can I go there now? No? Let's see what that did. I'm sure that did something. Music here reminds me of like, it doesn't sound like anything of Lord of the Rings. It reminds me of like Heretic or something. I don't know if you guys remember that game, Heretic. Okay, a lot of pillars here. Alright, those guys. I wonder if I can hit them from here. Probably not. The game's programmed better than that, right? Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say, the game's programmed too well for me to get away with that kind of nonsense, and there I go getting away with it. They're somewhat limited in what they can do to me. I do like the sound effect of the fireworks. In real life, I don't very much care for fireworks, although I think that I would probably change my tune if it was Gandalf doing them, right? Heretic was really fun. Yeah, I was a big fan of that. Because unfortunately, like, so many of, like, the fantasy PC games that we had were very dry, sort of CRPG fares, you know? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes you just want to be a wizard and start shooting spells at people. And I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, Heretic, I was a big fan of Heretic. Oh boy. No. Not much like this. Alright. Trying to heal, but they're crawling down the pillars, which is accurate to the film. I like that. They did show that in the film. Once again, I'm getting clobbered. Alright, let's just, like, wait over here and let my magic fill up. Oh, you made a clip? What was it a clip of? I'm in the multi-stream thing, Gray, so I can't, like, see the preview. Whoa, there they go. They're coming out of the walls, man! The superior programming, yeah. Why is this programmed too well for that kind of nonsense? Oh, it's working, never mind. Oh, this guy. Oh, that's what he's trying to do. Lure me towards those guys. Alright. Like a scout from, like, Xenoblade or something, you know? If it was you, there'd be more than just human, elf, dwarf, orc that's playable in those old Dungeons and Dragons games. Well, I'm sure. I mean, I know. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so. Oh god, the Eye of Sauron thing is going. That means there's somewhere around here one of these orcs is riling up all the others. Took me a while to figure out what that actually means, but that's bad. Oh, that was fortuitous. Oh, Gauntlet was really fun. I really liked Gauntlet, yeah. Let's see if we could... Okay, so that's going to require level 20 spirit, which, yeah, we can't get that, but we can upgrade this. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't even remember. I was saying something. I think it's that guy. Ah, he's banging that drum. She bangs the drums. Nope, wrong spell. Got him. All right. Great-eyed, lidless. But anyway, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I know that there's other races. But you got to remember, those old games, there's a limit to what you could do, you know? See if there's a way to get up on there. I really like to explore... Ah, yeah, okay. Just go up the stairs and then... Gauntlet 4 was like the Genesis one, right? That was a fun game. I like Gauntlet Dark Legacy, though. There's a whole other room over there. Ring mail? I definitely don't need ring mail. We are in the Lord of the Rings, but I don't need ring mail. Not sure why they called it Gauntlet 4. Oh boy. There's a switch here, that's why I'm here. Okay. Alright. Look how patient they are. Ringmail's better than ringworm? That's disgusting. I never played the 2014 game. It looked good, but I don't even know if I might have it. I'm not even sure. I'd have to check. Oh, not what I meant to do. Let me see. Do I have that Gauntlet game? Oh, it actually showed me what opened that time. That's unusual. Let's see. No, I don't. Okay. In my head, I thought I might have had it, but I don't. Alright, so I think we gotta go back down the stairs. The Eye of Sauron icon is, like, closing a bit, but... I think since I took out that drum guy, it would have gone away by now. Let's see if there's anything in this direction. Well, you'd hope so. You wouldn't want them all to be the same thing. Oh, this is where we entered, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Glad I checked. Is this where we entered? It is, okay. There was a button that I had to press there, so that's good. I mean, definitely in this game so far, we've only played 2 characters, but Gandalf certainly plays very differently from Aragorn. Oh, not that way, this way. I think. Yep, there's stairs here. That is a big blue guy. It's got a lot of health. And a pair of sandals, apparently. Oh, no. You don't get to bang that bread. Bang that bread? Because I picked up bread, as I said. I banged that drum. She bangs the drum. Wait, do I want the saber? Let me see. Do I want the saber? What am I using? Short sword, 3 to 7 damage. It's worse. Okay. Easy, a little bit of defense, but it's overall worse. Wait. Is there like a charge-up attack? Oh, wait, look at that. Does that make my spells better or something? I can't fire a spell when I'm doing that. Now, for some reason, if you hold attack, his staff starts to sparkle. It just must be a power strike. I didn't know that was a thing until just now. I wonder if Aragorn had some kind of power-up strike as well. Oh, don't be doing that. Oh, I didn't mean to go through there. Alright. You always imagine what Moog would be like as a DM in Dungeons and Dragons. The back sword. Let's check that out. I think he'd be making up his whole... That's a better sword. Well, it lowers my defense, though, so I don't want it. He'd be making up his own rules, no? Oh, get back here. Alright. Yeah, I've never played it myself. I know Matt has, because he talked about it once. It would be chaos. I don't know. Do you really think it would be complete chaos? I think it would be confusing. But I don't know if it would be chaotic. Where'd he go? Oh boy. There we go. It's like you ever trying to kill a bug and suddenly you don't know where it is. climbing up the ravine there. Ugh. There we go. I have a feeling whatever Moogle's campaign would be like, it would probably be R-rated. Eh? This is the door they showed. Alright, this is getting to be kind of ominous. Now, you gotta cater it to the kind of people that you have there, you know? If they're not into that kind of stuff, then... More statues. Okay, now this one has an axe. Well, they all have axes, but note that this one's a lot bigger. Now, it does look like this is just really the same statue, but scaled out. But I would believe that depicted with an axe like that could be Durin. I think we should save the game, though, right? I think I remember how to do that. There we go. We save it here. Oh, it says it's Balin's tomb, so... I mean, if you wanted that to be in your role-playing game, you could do it, but... if people don't want that, you should probably just not do that. Nice Frodo. Balin's book. Oh, the Book of Miserable. Drums in the deep. Doesn't look like it's an item here, huh? Well, I got it. I probably just have to bring it to one of the characters. The inscription on the tomb lies, here lies Balin, son of Fundin, Lord of Moria. We may share his fate if we loiter much longer. Where is Gimli in all this? And Merry and Pippin and Sam. And Aragorn and Boromir. Hold fast! Something is coming! Oh, Aragorn's oh, he's over there. I see Aragorn. I thought that was Legolas. Frodo, stay close to Gandalf. Oh boy, that is the cave troll. It's actually playing the music from the movie. Ba 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 ba. Oh hey Maddie, how's it going? Oh my god, this SNES game. You know, I played that on the channel once, but it wasn't like it live streamed or anything. Would you guys be interested in me live streaming that at one point? Alright, this seems like a bad idea. Ba, ba, ba. I just was playing something just the other day and there was a musical motif that sounded just like this song. Like, da, 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 da. What was that? I think it was Xenoblade, though. I'm trying to get healed. Oh, this is where they're spawning from, huh? That helped a little. Punk spell. I did very little damage to that cave troll. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible, but there's a lot to talk about. The only time I saw a depiction of Gildor and Glory in a game, you know? Or really any visual adaptation. I could just stay up here and take pot shots at him. It didn't actually hit. Oh. Once again, that didn't go well. I think it would be a lot of fun, to be honest. Be great if Aragorn and Frodo helped me. Why don't... Didn't Legolas kill this guy in the movie? I'm pretty sure Legolas got this guy in the movie. Oh! That was real bad. Alright, oh god. I might be in real trouble. How many stalactites are there? Enough. Enough stalactites, right? You'd figure if you stand in a doorway, they wouldn't be able to get you a stalactites, but that's probably not a thing, right? Actually does appear to be working. Alright. This game is very cool, yeah. It's very ARPG Diablo-like. It is Game Boy Advance, yeah. Of course I missed. Yeah, I think... I don't know, this is based on the movie. Legolas should be fighting this guy. Oh no! He got me. Alright, we try again. He got me. Yeah, I think it's fun. I never played it before streaming it for this channel, and I really think it's a lot of fun. Alright, let's try to play that. Because I was doing well, and then I wasn't. Aragorn and Frodo are just kind of messing around, not helping me. It might have been a... Oh, it might have been a sound... Actually, that sounded like Christopher Lee to me, but... It might have been a sound effect from the game, or from the movie. It does definitely look like him on the status screen here. That's definitely Ian McKellen. Alright, let's try to play better than that. That was pretty bad. As I remember, I left that healing thing there, so if I need to, I can come back for that. Oh, I'm trying to hit Frodo here. Oh yeah, it's definitely... This is an ARPG, so we're gonna make it look like Diablo. If you notice, the orcs are actually fighting the troll as well. I think it's a neat touch. Trying to get back to that healing fountain, but... Yeah. If this got like a big PC release, it would have been a very impressive game. I mean, unfortunately, the big console release of this was, you know, the one Two Towers game you're probably more familiar with, which is just, it's not a bad game, but it is really just a very straightforward hack and slash, and by modern standards, quite janky. There he is. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to heal myself. Not doing that well. Gotta wait. Oh. Okay. Once more into the breach, my friends. We're almost won. I mean, oh. Good for me to use the wrong spell. Yeah, we got him. He's done. Traveler's Cave. Numenorian Mantle. Oh, we want that. Traveler's Cape is where? +1 missile armor, +1 health. That's better than what we have. Get rid of the old one. Numenorian Mantle, though. That might be good. That was technically the first PS2 game you owned. Interesting. Wait, hold on. Hold it. +1 missile armor, +1 strength, +1 defense. That's even better. Okay. Hey there, Santa Cruz. And hey there, kids. How's it going? Yeah, the movie clips carried that game. It was like when I was playing it, everybody's come back, oh, this is an absolute classic. I love this game. And I'm like, it's fun, but it's not an absolute classic. It's okay. I actually like this game way more. Now, I didn't know there was a Fellowship of the Ring game on Game Boy, or I would have played that first, but we'll get to that. I just want the gems. There's actually a lot of Tolkien-based games that I never played, mostly because I bought the Super NES game back in the day, and it was awful, and I was a teenager that just wasted $50 on a terrible game that I bought simply because it was the Lord of the Rings. A lesson learned. Oh. This guy is... Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna get killed here. Just go to the next area, right? Oh no! And I'm dead. But I'm in a new area, so that's okay. Dude, Frodo and Aragorn just run past me like, you take care of this, man. You got this, right? I don't understand where the rest of the Fellowship went, but... This is the part that the music reminds me of Heretic, with the plucked sort of string thing. Oh, okay. Let them come. There is one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath. Now we know what this is leading to. What is this devilry? A Balrog, demon of the ancient world. Run to the bridge of Khazad-dûm! Yeah, I like both of them, although I'd like Heretic more. It's interesting that they kind of still want to fight me. Wait, what is that? Why did that symbol appear? I leveled up, but I didn't? That's weird. I have an attribute point. I'm gonna put this in the healing spell. The symbol appeared like I leveled up. Weird. Oh, maybe I just found an attribute point Or a skill point, rather. Okay. Gandalf tells them run to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm like they know where that is. Okay, potentially Aragorn would know. Wait, where am I now? Where is this? Is this part of Moria? What happened? Ever play Witch Haven? No, I've never even heard of it. That guy was all up in my face. Well, they do look like dwarf faces on the walls, so... It's, you know, it's probably just red to represent the glow of the fires and the Balrog. This would be the stair that he was knocked down in the book, probably. When he tried to close the door. The Balrog's counterspell knocked him loopy. I've met my match and I've nearly been destroyed. This actually looks like... That looks like the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Let me look elsewhere first. There we go. Alright. You guys know something bad is going to happen, right? Oh, wrong button. Let's save it. We're going to have to fight the Balrog, probably. And hopefully it will continue and we'll be Gandalf the White. Otherwise, we find out what the next character is all about. I could see that happen. Oh, it's behind me. Here we go. I'm a servant of the secret fire, a wielder of the flame of Anna. You shall not pass, flame of Udun. So Anna, of course, the sun, basically saying, hey, you're made of fire. My fire is brighter and it's holy. Flame of Udun. Udun is, it refers to two things, and I think where some people get jammed up is that there is a part of Mordor that is called Udun. However, what he's saying is not that. What he's saying is an alternate form of Utumno, which means hell, and it's referring to the first great fortress that Morgoth had made, so he's basically identifying it as a Balrog of Morgoth. Alright. You shall not pass, fly, you fools! Alright, so we don't have to fight it, that's good. There are foul things in the depths of Moria. The way down was quick and clear, but there was a way back up. Oh, we are gonna have to fight him. But we're gonna get to fight him on Xeroxagil, I think. These guys are probably wondering how they're getting hit and dying when I'm on the other side of a wall. Hey, Robot Girl, how's it going? Alright. Yeah, wow. Okay, so we're outside. Yeah, this is, we're gonna have to fight him at the peak of Xeroxagil. Oh, we got footprints here. They look like cloven hoof prints, which... Yeah. Well, that is what the Balrog looked like in the film. He should have looked like that. Balrog shouldn't have wings, horns, tails, hooves. Tolkien said they are man-shaped, just bigger, and made out of fire and shadow. So when people say Balrogs have wings, I'm like, well, they're man-shaped. Do men have wings? Do they have horns? Certainly, they don't have tails. Wait, hold on. I might want those boots. What am I wearing? Yeah, hold on. Make room for that. They at least decided not to add ninjas? What? What are you saying? So it's +1 melee, +2 defense? Yeah, I'll take that. Arms had wings? Icarus had wings? Yeah, look how that turned out. They weren't part of his body. They were made of wax, and they melted. They weren't, like, actually his wings. They were wings that he wore. Can I upgrade the whetstone? 1,000 gems? Not quite. I'd need 1,000 gems. We did play a Fellowship of the Ring game that did follow the books. And the Balrog still looked a little bit too... The word that I would use, which is a misused word, by the way, and a lot of people say it, they're using it incorrectly, is grotesque. People think grotesque just means ugly, but it actually refers to a specific design element that most people call a gargoyle. That's right, I'd pick up that back sword before, didn't I? But I decided it was worse. Wait, I have a scimitar, though. Hold on. What's better? I'll use the Wait, he can't use the scimitar? Oh, wow. Gandalf is incapable of using scimitars. Okay, great. So, grotesque actually refers to the design of what most people call a gargoyle. Although a gargoyle is not just a grotesque, but it channels water. If it doesn't channel water, if it's a grotesque. If it does, it's a gargoyle. But, no, we're not going that way. It seemed actually like the Balrog footprints were going kind of down this way. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is a part that wasn't in the movie. Gandalf only talked about it in the book. It's actually very cool. Oh, I know all about trying to type something on your phone, trust me. Well, that guy likes the fireworks, huh? I need another staff. Haven't seen any Balrog footprints in a bit. I heard orcs, but I don't see orcs. I found orcs. Oh, alright, the Balrog's definitely been through here. Now this pursuit, which was also intersped with him battling the Balrog, actually took 11 days in the book. The Hobbit 286 text-based adventure game with your dad when you were like 2. Wow, that's a heck of an early memory. One of the first PC games I played was based on The Lord of the Rings, but I don't remember the name of it. It was a really weird game. Sort of a mixture between like an adventure game and an RTS, but I never really figured it out. I was too young to be playing something like that, you know? Alright. And then again, I had read Hobbit at that point, at least, so... Okay. Now, who lit fires down here? I guess the orcs could have done that. Oh, I didn't mean to... I didn't realize that. Oh, I can't go back. Okay. Oh, well. So your first experience with The Lord of the Rings was a text-based... That's interesting. I mean, obviously you weren't going to read the book at 2, but about what age were you when you did read the book? I am alone, wizard. No goblins is to help. You must fight me. Why is this guy talking like he's Gollum? And where did he go? Oh, okay. So he started with Narnia. I actually read the first 2 books of the Chronicles of Narnia sometime between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, I believe. And I tried the 3rd one, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, but I thought it was awful. I couldn't stomach it, to be honest. All that with that one orc talking, and then he died pretty easily. Most of them are running away from me now. I would like to level up. So when you say Red Dragon, I think of that book by Thomas Harris. I don't mean to waste a lot of time chasing down orcs, it's just I'm pretty close to a level up. Alright, I gotta figure out where I'm going, though. There is a rune etched into that wall, which is interesting. But it's just a single rune. That's like putting the letter A on a wall, or, you know. I think what I have is already a quarterstaff, right? Yeah. Don't need to upgrade. Alright, we're not going this way. Like I said, I'm not actually sure where the game wants me to go right now. I can't go back to the previous area I was in. It's been a bit since I've seen any Balrog footprints. Oh, here's something. Oh, and there's a Balrog footprint. Balrog still lives. His flames extinguished for now. I must catch up to him quickly. What was it that you played every day? Like, are you talking about the text adventure game? I'd like to try those out at some point. Very close to hitting another level, so I'd like to make that happen. I couldn't even go back to upgrade the whetstone if I wanted to now. Oh. Legend of the Red Dragon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is, to be honest. Is that when I hear Red Dragon, I think of the Thomas Harris novel. I don't know how many of you guys have read that, but... Part of the proto-internet. Oh, so like a... What do they call those? Multi-user dungeon kind of situation? Oh, they're bulletin board. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay. Well, we leveled up. I was looking for that. Probably gonna upgrade this, unless I can get that. Yeah, we'll upgrade that. And once again, I'm gonna put as much as I can into defense because I feel that's where I'm lacking. don't think Gandalf wants to wear a coif anyway. Interesting. That is interesting. I wasn't on the internet at that time, so I didn't do that. Yeah, this game does have bosses. We already fought, a little while ago, we fought the cave troll. Right now I'm chasing down the Balrog. We felled off the bridge, and this is the pursuit sequence. So I guess we gotta get up to the top of Xeroxagil and fight him there. Oh, not what I meant to do, but alright. There's a smaller troll. I don't think they can fit down here. I have a little extra range if I charge up my strike. I'll wait. I'll be cheap. Fine cloth shirt. Hold on, I don't know. Would that be worth it for him? I should get rid of the scimitar since he can't even use a scimitar. I don't know why you could pick up items you can't use. Cheap coif. That's critical armor. Armor plus. Oh, hold on. I do want to equip that. And this melee, 3 melee, 2 missile. That's terrible. Yeah, it was a nice little choke point, right? But yeah, the game does have bosses. We already did the whole Aragorn playthrough. Now we're doing Gandalf. It has a bunch of different characters that you could play as. It's actually a really neat game. I didn't know about how good it was until I started playing it. I expected a watered-down version of the other movie-based games. Alright, nope, don't go that way. Okay. Oh, another Balrog sign here. Trying to turn around and shoot these fireworks. Alright. Divinity Original Sin. I've heard of that, but no. I've never played those. When it comes to role-playing games, to be honest with you, growing up and everything, it was way more of like the Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest kind of variety of role-playing games, you know? Like, Dragon Quest is actually my favorite series. It's like, how can I calm down? They killed Claude, or whatever it was. What, Moogle, do you remember what the guy's name was in that movie, Wizard? God, I don't remember. I should just ask Bakshi. Like, what was the guy's name? Oh, God. Alright, I got a little greedy there. That helps. That helps. Yeah, choke points are pretty important in this, especially with Gandalf, because he seems very frail compared to Aragorn. Aragorn just sort of face tanked everything. Okay. Oh, alright. Not sure what that guy was doing. Okay. The Gandalf campaign is definitely harder than the Aragorn campaign. was well deserved. What I did to that orc, well deserved. Alright, we've been seeing this symbol so much. Let's see. Just the fact that we're getting it that much, I have to look it up. Alright, so... No, not the Tengwar. Where's my Angerthus runes? I just had it up. Oh, here we are, here we are. We keep seeing that symbol over and over again now. Alright, so... It's a U. It's the ooh sound. I don't know what that could possibly mean. I think the developers just thought it looked cool. Be great if I got another opportunity for a whetstone before having to fight the Balrog. Okay. Sounds like kind of like almost like the tactics that you use in a lot of like the tower defense sort of situations, you know? Oh god, there's a scout. Are you the one? Yeah, you're the one. Alright, I put a stop to that. You thought it was numbers? Well, the runes can be letters and numbers, but... That's the long U, the ooh sound, so I don't know why we keep seeing it in the depths below Moria. I mean, I guess you could say it stands for, like, Udun or something, but that doesn't make sense. I think, like I said, the developers just thought it looked fun. Now see, there's two more runes that mean probably not much put together, you know? Grey Wizard needs food badly. Yoink. Just the way that the orcs move in this reminds me of like the apes in like Planet of the Apes. A door? That's not what I expected to see down here. This is not supposed to be a civilized area. Alright, looks like if there's stalactites coming down, then there's another cave troll. And I see a boss meter there. Yep, alright, time for another boss. It's the same guy we fought before, basically. Oh, that's not gonna help me. The quality is mostly just Game Boy Advance. Unfortunately, didn't have the great quality that you would come to expect from a Game Boy. But oh, just whiffing. All right. Then why are you whiffing? Oh, that's a punish. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Oh, wait. You nice with it? Come on, let's go. He's almost dead. Gotta heal. He's not gonna fit through here. Oh god. Pretty much, yeah. It had one of my favorites back in the day. It was Metroid Fusion. Loved Metroid Fusion. Alright, able to heal. Nice, right there, okay. Almost got him. There, he's done. All right. I don't really want a warg collar. Doesn't sound very fashionable or useful. There's some people in real life that would totally wear a warg collar, but I don't think any of them are in here. Move. That was literally a shot in the dark. Yeah, I think the mistake in the depiction of this area is they're kind of making it seem like it's just more of Moria when it's really an area that was never settled by civilization. Alright, there's one of those drum guys nearby. I'm gonna have to chase him down. Oh, there he is. A good thing he just decided to walk up and whisper something in Gandalf's ear. That almost looked like stairs. Oh, look at that. Although I feel like I should be going upwards rather than downwards, but... Because we should be chasing him up to the peak of Xeroxagil. The wicked Carathras. Oh, okay, that was apparently where I needed to go. Oh, what? Alright, well... I do want to look in there. Battle axe? I can't even... I don't imagine that he could use that. Like, maybe there's some way to hand it to Gimli at some point, but I don't think so. I've never played Dragon's Dogma, no. Like I said, I mostly growing up, I was very much like a JRPG fan, you know? Like a... Whoa. How did... Although, I've played Elder Scrolls and a few, non-JRPGs. I played Dragon Age Origin, for example. Oh, that one exploded on me. That's great. Oh, I'm stuck, aren't I? I hope I can get out of this. All right. Well, it's a little tiny troll. They're the bigger trolls, obviously, and those are the little ones that are more of like an elite enemy instead of a straight-up boss. So there was nothing here, but there was a troll to fight. That's great. Let me see if there's something else sitting there. Oh, I do have room. There's a brigadine and some money. All right. So yeah, this was just an opportunity to get some stuff. Alright, we gotta find the way to go. Yeah, like I said, my favorite video game series of all time is Dragon Quest. Alright, that was kind of nasty. Let's go back up here. So growing up, like, for me, RPGs was like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Lufia, Breath of Fire, those kind of games, you know? When I was on PC, I was more playing things like Doom and Quake and stuff like that. Heretic. I mentioned that earlier. Alright, that was dangerous. That probably opened something. They're more anime than Euro high fantasy, really. Although I would say that Dragon Quest is very well, at least it didn't start out that way, but it became very Germanic fairy tale after a while. Like, there's a portion in Dragon Quest XI where I was like, I know where this is going because this is the Little Mermaid. She's not gonna make it. Oh, there he is. They basically put the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid story into Dragon Quest XI. Alright, that wasn't where I needed to go, but... I mean, I hit a switch. I'm sure it opened something. A white fountain? Not sure what that did. Folor? F-O? I'm not sure what you mean. It might have been a typo. Oh. Okay, that didn't help. Oh. Well, the fact that there's still enemies here is good. The falchion? Let's see if he can... He wouldn't use the scimitar. Maybe he'll use the falchion. Oh, folklore. Gotcha. As a matter of fact, a lot of what you think is Euro fantasy in a lot of those games is actually really either Japanese mythology or sometimes even adaptations of Chinese mythology, which is what you see with like Suikoden. It's just that they share a lot of similarities. I actually wrote an article, and I believe this is featured in episode 160 or 161. I forget which one. But the question basically came in, you know, if in the sort of like medieval-ish fighting that happened in real life, the most common melee weapons were polearm weapons like spears and halberds. So why is it that fantasy books always have swords? And they were using Tolkien, you know, as an example. And I talked about the romanticization of swords and how that came to be a big deal in fantasy literature in both European and Japanese culture, kind of at the same time and almost for the same reason. Sword rapier. That's an odd way. That's a very odd way of putting it. I don't like the falchion, though. It's got less accuracy. I have no idea where I'm going. I haven't seen a Balrog footprint in a while. I found a switch. Not sure what it opened. Wait. Maybe it's this? Or maybe it's that big door that I saw. That was a ways back. Hold on. Ugh. The drum guy is running all over the place. Alright, hold on. This green dude is... Oh, boy. The swords were really, really, really expensive. He got me. Dang. That wasn't good. Swords were ridiculously expensive. And in Europe, to be considered a knight, before the Code of Chivalry, all you needed was a horse and a suit of armor. So one super expensive thing, and another super... I mean, armor was ridiculous. Like, if you had a full suit of armor, you were wealthy. A sword on top of that? Nobody really had that kind of money, usually. And you'd spend this ridiculous amount of money on a sword, go into battle, it gets all dinged up and everything, you know. Spears they could be made faster. They were cheap. So, you know... But then you had, like, Welsh myth, like, about Excalibur. And that's a big one, you know. Shadow of the Colossus. Wow, that was a good game. I remember... Okay. Alright, so... A good friend of mine, her name is June. I remember when she was playing through Shadow of the Colossus, and I had already played it. So I knew, like, kind of the twist, you know. And how it ended up, right? And, I remember, you know, as she's going through the game and she's texting me and saying, you know, what her experiences are, and of course, I'm not going to spoil anything. But I remember there was a moment where she said, I don't know how good I feel about what I'm doing here. And I said, yeah. I bet you that switch opened that door. All right. So we get down to that switch and then get up to this door. But first I want to... Oh, yeah. But anyway, I got to fight the cave troll again. That's awful. All right. Where is he? I should have saved it after I fought the cave troll. Honestly, smacking him with the charge attack does more damage than the fireworks do. It's just less safe. Oh boy. Oh, I don't think you can fit through here, can you? Oh, but anyway, I remember at one point she says to me, "Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom." All right, cool, right? And when you're close friends with somebody, you get into like this sort of too much information mode, right? So she comes out of the bathroom and texts me, "Oh boy, that was the fight." And I said, "Did you have to find the rune and stab it?" And she says to me, "I had to use the horse." Terrible. That's awful. That's disgusting. I approve. I'm just waiting to be able to heal here. Alright. I don't like... Alright. The guy's almost dead. I'll definitely save it after beating him again, because I don't want to go through this again. Ah, he's done. He's done. Craftsman Saver? That's different. We got better items this time? Where's the Craftsman's Saber? 2 to 5 damage, +1 accuracy, +1 defense. So a little less damage, but more accuracy and defense. I'm actually going to use that. Elven Short Staff? Alright, I want that. Let me make room for it. Get rid of these sandals. But still, what? Horsehair Mantle? We're finding all kinds of cool stuff right now. +1 missile, +1 defense, -1 courage. I don't want that. 2 to 4 damage, +2 accuracy. I'd rather have the wisdom. Oh, let's save it, let's save it, let's save it. Yeah, alright, because we got killed by that stupid orc. Just a simple orc killed us. Alright, so we're going to find our way down to that switch, hit it, and then see if it opened that big door. No, that orc, he was chasing me all over. I don't know why he was chunking me so bad. I mean, usually you walk up to a group of orcs and that's what happens, and sometimes the differently colored ones are tougher, but... See, even the little ones can really pile on the damage if you get surrounded like that, and they do try to surround you. There he is. Top of the drums. You don't really like popular games? Well, I mean, there's so many great games out there right now. I mean, I just finished Hollow Knight Silk Song, which I thought was really, really good. Having a drum circle, just the one guy. Well, the Gollum game is a cash grab, unfortunately. Really no redeeming qualities there. Oh yeah, I have Shadow War. I have Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. Haven't played them yet. I'm gonna stream them. We will be streaming those at some point. I'm gonna have a lot to say about the lore and how I feel that, even though it's incompatible with the Lord of the Rings, is a valid story that could be told. Alright, I know where I am now. Alright, I'm sort of like remembering the layout of this a little more now. This is where you fight this guy and hopefully he drops something cool. Have you played Shadow of Mordor? Because Shadow of War is the sequel. There's something other than that staff there, and I think it's just money, but... yeah, you haven't. You might want to play Shadow of Mordor first. I knew it was an exploding one, and I'm at low health, and I let that happen. What's interesting is that the developers of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, and they created and patented this really interesting rivalry system, which you'll see when you play the game. They were actually working on like a Wonder Woman game at some point. It never got made, unfortunately. No, I'm saying you should play the first one first, which is Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of War is the sequel. Alright, there's the green guy that killed me earlier. So... oh, God. I'm about as good at the stairs as the Ed 209. Oh, that's a different guy because he's got a friggin' bow. Alright. Just speeding it up. There we go. Alright. Yeah, they unfortunately never got to finish their Wonder Woman game, but yeah, there's a whole rivalry system in those games where certain orcs could be like your rivals. You're walking to a group of orcs with Glamdring and Orcus. The orcs started shouting in their own tongue. And I said, beat her and bite her? I hardly know her. I feel like if you told that joke to Tolkien, he would laugh and be angry that he laughed. How dare you make me laugh at that? It's preposterous. Alright, let's see if my theory is correct that opened that door that we saw. Which is not this way, it's this way. Can't even walk through an arch. Gandalf just too thick. How did this place get so repopulated? There's like a hole in the wall somewhere to walk through. Here it is. Okay. This actually doesn't look familiar, but I'm finding a bunch of stuff. Actually, this is where I fought the troll. I just never went up on that wall there. A wizard did it. Whenever you notice something like that, a wizard... I think that's the green guy that got me before. Right. He's not even caring that I'm shooting fireworks at him. Oh my god, I can't believe how much damage this guy does. I'm in the same terrible position I was before. That leveled me up, though. Very nice. Can I get this spell yet? Not yet. It says 20 spirit. I mean, my spirit is 30. I don't know. I think you're just saying it costs 20 spirit. Where is the drum guy? Oh, there he is. I'm getting a big AoE out of that spell now. Oh, there's another drum guy. Great. Atlas Major. Why am I hearing laughing? Something bad's gonna happen, isn't it? I hope that's not supposed to be the Balrog laughing. There was in the 60s, there was this whole thing where there was going to be a cartoon, Lord of the Rings, not related to the later Bakshi film, but this one never got past like storyboards and such. But anyway, Tolkien was reading through the proofs and all the ideas and everything, and he was getting increasingly angry at all the deviations that they put in there. And the one thing that really set him off, okay, got him, was the Balrog, another drum guy, the Balrog laughing. He says they don't laugh, they don't talk, they don't make any sort of vocal noises. Perhaps you think you know better than I do about Balrogs, but I say otherwise. By the way, I've actually had people on Quora tell me that Balrogs can talk, and I would show them that, well, here he says that they can't. And he says, no, they can, because it doesn't make sense for them not to be able to, and all this. And I'm like, so you're saying you know more about Balrogs than Tolkien did? Okay, cool. Where am I? This is... Okay, so it definitely looks like I'm higher up, because I'm looking out a window towards one of the other peaks of the Misty Mountains. But after dropping into the lake and everything, all we did was go downstairs and stuff. Like, it seems like we should be higher up. I've said a few times that the layout of this doesn't make a lot of sense. There's parts where you're heading east, but you're really, like, not heading east, and, you know. Trying to make sense of the mapping is difficult. Right, the Eye of Sauron thing can't get much bigger than that, so... Oh, God. So could we stop with the... Oh! The drum guys, please? It'd be great if they just stopped. Alright. Like, I don't know how we got here. This section was supposed to be all outside, you know? Like, once he gets outside, it should just be going up the peak. Then again, like I said, this is not something that Tolkien described exactly. It wasn't in the movie, so it is open to some interpretation. What is that? There was a sword in that candle? What is this, Castlevania? Jeez. It looks like there's two weapons there. Let's drop something. It's actually getting kind of late now, isn't it? Like, we're gonna have to end at some point, but I'm having fun. Breaking pots like we're late. There's a lot of games where you just break pots. Although that's more of like an urn than anything. But there's a lot of games like that. Even Dragon Quest does it now. Oh, I was really hoping for another opportunity to upgrade the whetstone. I could even do it twice here. Superior whetstone, very cool. I could also sell a lot of this stuff. I don't know if I should sell the battle axe. Like, I'm kind of holding on to the thought that maybe in some way, shape, or form I can hand it to Gimli. I don't know, Aragorn found a bunch of stuff that he couldn't use. I don't know if there was a way to hand it to a different character. Link to the Past is the first one you can think of. That's definitely the one that started the whole, in Zelda at least, of breaking pots. Yeah. You know how many times I played through that game as a kid? So many times. There were a few games that I just played through over and over again, like Mega Man X was another one of them that I just kept doing it over and over. Why are there so many drum guys? Oh. Alright, not sure where I got hurt there. A Link Between Worlds was really good. I very much enjoyed it. What was in this? Nothing? Oh, look, nothing! Yeah, big fan of Mega Man X. Well, not the 7th one, but all the other ones. Recently just played through all the Mega Man X games, well, except for X Dive. I'm gonna get back to that. But for my Sunday night streams, I took time off of doing Mega Man to do the new Deltarune. Well, all of Deltarune leading up to the chapter. I was a big fan of Deltarune as well. Here we go. Alright. I keep hearing that laughing. I really hope it's not the Balrog laughing. That would really piss Tolkien off. I mean, I thought he's around to be pissed off, but Balrogs don't really make noises. They're really going overboard with the drum guys. At this point, it's like killing them doesn't even make the eye go away, so I don't even know why I bothered chasing them down. There's another troll. Holy Menegroth, Batman. By the way, for those of you who saw the play that me and Laurel and Matt put on, the one that Matt wrote and everything, Insane Wayne there on the Twitch side of things was the narrator. He was our lovely narrator. I love that the trolls will attack the orcs. I think that's hilarious. Mega Man X had some great songs in it, yeah, absolutely. Brian, absolutely. Although I will say that like the series of games that has the best music is Xenoblade. But Mega Man X, that's when you want to rock out, right? Not orc meat, orc pork. Get with the program there, Wayne. By the way, Wayne, because you linked me to that NPR thing, I would have seen it anyway, but Elven Brigandine, huh? I was just listening to Napalm Death all day now. The Elven Brigandine. Okay, so it's 5 melee, 4 missile, and 10% speed. That's not gonna do it for me. Orc pork, exactly. Burglar's shoes. I would say we found Bilbo's shoes, but Bilbo wouldn't wear shoes. +1 accuracy, +2 defense. You know what? Yes, I want that. That was a really good show, and you know, Barney Greenway is just such a wholesome, interesting guy. But I watched another concert of theirs on YouTube while I was writing. So I'm writing about Tolkien while sitting there, you know, listening to Napalm Death. You guys would not believe the things I listen to while I'm writing answers. Sometimes it's something thematically appropriate, like some Blind Guardian or Harvard or something, and sometimes it's just whatever randomness. And today it was Napalm Death. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about the AI thing. So for those of you that have been following, I've been fighting with a lot of the Quora staff about their usage of generative AI to answer questions, which I don't appreciate. As somebody who's a real writer, I don't appreciate them trying to have machines do it for me. So, I came across the Fever Index bot, which is one of the AI bots that they use, that wrote... Somebody asked the question, and this is in episode 161, so if you remember, you might have seen this already. But in episode 161, I answered this question, which was about a guy, I never heard of him before, but his name was Erling Haaland. I had to look him up. He's a soccer player, he's a football player from Norway. And they were asking, does that name, Erling, have any etymological similarities with Eorlingus? Which is, you know, you hear that, especially in the Two Towers, Forth Eorlingus, you know, in the Ride of the Rohirrim and at the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. And the AI answer was like, yes, of course it is. Linguistically, it's the same word, and it had a lot of true facts, but it was drawing false conclusions from those facts. So I wrote an answer where I talked about how they are similar, but the AI is wrong because it was saying that Erling was based off of the idea of son of Earl. Earl being the modern form of it. What in Middle English was Eorl, and then, well, actually in Old English it was Eorl, and in which is the same word as Eorl the Young in The Lord of the Rings, and then further back to Norse you go to Jarl, and it's like the highest rank of nobility. So Erling, as a given name, is son of Earl, son of a nobleman, or if somebody's just named Earl, it usually means nobleman or it means like warrior. But anyway, they were saying it's the same thing as Eorlingas. But the thing is, Lingas is not the same as Ling. It's not even Lingus, it's Ingas. Ingas means follower of, not son of. So, and it's the same sort of thing as like Dunlanding or Bjornings, Erlingas. So that's just wrong, right? But then the Eorl thing was actually not related to the Old English Eorl, meaning Earl or Jarl, but the Old English Eo, which means horse. And if you know Rohan, you know that that makes perfect sense. So I showed the answer that the AI wrote to the Quora staff. And I said, this is Exhibit A. And then I showed them my answer, and they said it's Exhibit B. And I feel like they didn't quite take away what I wanted them to take away from that. Because they were like, well, you're certainly right, you know, and people agree because your answer has more views in a shorter amount of time and it has more upvotes, so definitely people prefer your answer over the AI answer. And I was like, well, that's not the point, you know, because they're just sort of like, well, if the AI writes good things, then it writes good things, and if it writes bad things, and you know, they don't really care. And I'm saying, but I gave it the right answer without draining a lake or burning a tree. You know, I'm not doing the devilry of Isengard here. So I'm like, the issue isn't so much that it's wrong, although that is an issue. It's not the issue. Oh boy. The issue is that it's wrong and harmful. And when you're putting on the account that this is an account run by Quora, you're basically saying that that was my heel, really? You're basically saying that this is endorsed by Quora. So then when you're wrong, I think it's because I have more health now. Yeah. It's a bad look. And I've been pointing out to them that it's legally contentious because they're going to run into some severe liability issues. And one victory that we had is, I'll show it to you guys actually. Let's show it to you guys. Hold on. Let me bring it up. So this is the AI account, and you know it says updates from the world of pop culture, and it does say AI profile run by Quora. There's 7 others, and they all do one thing. This is the pop culture one. This is the one that occasionally answers Tolkien questions and does it very poorly. But it now, and this is something that I asked for. It's not exactly what I asked for, but it is something that I asked for. They put this little icon there to let you know that it is. I mean, you have to know that that's an AI indicator, but at least they put it on there. So now when you look at their answers, you can at least see that and you know it's AI. But, yeah. We're not out of the woods yet, but I wanted to let you guys know that progress has been made. Progress has been made. Because, like, my point of showing it to them, you know, their answer versus my answer, wasn't to brag about how much more I knew, but was to show that they are essentially endorsing something that is destroying nature and giving bad answers. Why does he, like, fade away when you're... Oh, that's weird. You see that? That's what's known in gaming as a priority error. Next level up, I gotta try and upgrade that healing spell. Oh, something's happening. Boss time. Oh, it's the Balrog? Okay, this is incorrect. Balrog of Morgoth, go back to the shadow! We should be fighting him in a building. It should be outside. But that's okay, I guess. Even in the movie, they showed it was... and I'm dead. Wow. Just one shot. Oh. Go back to the shadow. Ooh, the fireworks really don't do much, huh? Okay, okay. What is it even hitting me with? I guess that's a sword. I don't know. Oh, and I'm dead again. Wow, he is, You shall not pass gas. Not so close to the fire like that. Oh, God. Ooh! I feel like we need that flaming lip song, the Battle of the Voices from Afar, or whatever it was called. I don't know if you guys ever heard that song, but oh my god. Whenever I hear it, I think of the Balrog. Alright, so this is really hard. Alright, I'm just trying to see what the limits of the arena are. Wow, yeah, I just immediately die. I can't even, like, move laterally. Like, he strikes to the left and I'm above him and somehow it hurts me. I'm trying to get him to whiff, but it's not really working. Wow. Okay, this is pretty bad. Alright. And if we just brawl with him, he does that thing where he shoves the sword into the ground, and that pretty much just kills me, so... Alright, so we could try... Oh, okay. We could try something else, right? I don't think he can come down here. Oh, well, he could reach me there with his weapon. So that's not gonna help. Go back to the shadow. Alright. As long as I don't come too close. Running past him is dangerous. I feel like I'm playing that Dragon View game. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but that was a wild game. Oh, okay, he doesn't get stuck on the rock. I was like, maybe he'll get stuck on the rock like I kind of did, but no. I got him down to like 20% health, so. Oh, God. Oh, I can't get past the rock! Alright, I got him down to like 20%. It's doable. It's just hard. Better than Draken? Well, it was a sequel to Draken. But it was so much better. Draken was not a fun game. Dragon View I had fun with, though. Got him down to half. Yeah, I think we just have to be cowardly. Play like Justin Wong here. Oh, boy. Oh, my God, yeah. You talking about the teleport animation? That was so weird. I'd like to keep him towards the top of the arena, but... Alright, run. Alright, right. Cool. Oh, he wasn't even swinging his weapon there. Alright. Oh! Couldn't get away. Couldn't get away from him. Also, I just noticed that sometimes Gandalf just stumbles, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because the screen's shaking. I wasn't near him. You know, I said it before, but I'm fairly certain that that sound he makes when he dies, that's actually Christopher Lee's voice. It really sounds like... See, I just stumbled for no reason. Oh, all of those whiffed. That's great. Once he gets into that frenzy, there's nothing much you can do. Yeah, I'm just stumbling and sometimes even taking damage from nothing. I really can't afford to... Okay, Gandalf, that's great. They say a wizard is never late, but he's about to be the late Gandalf the Grey. See, I don't even understand how that first swing hit me. Good thing that barely did anything. Looking for you, this stuff don't work. Yeah, I just randomly take damage? That's great. Just randomly? Oh god. I don't think I need to be holding down the button like that, though. Doesn't help me at all. I just have to angle back up and watch out for that rock. Because I get caught up on it, he does not, and I'm dead. Okay. Not good. Oh! What? What? No! I didn't think I was within range, but I was. I don't understand why I'm fighting him in a building, but... whatever, man. Alright. Got him down to about half. Whatever that was that hit me. Yeah. Oh. Maybe like 3 more fireworks. I just massively took a bunch of damage when I wasn't even near him. If he got stumbled up on that rock, that would be great. Maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more. Yeah, at least 1 more. Yay! Got him. That's what I think of you. I should not have beaten this foe. I have been spared. Spared, rejuvenated, and sent back in white. You weren't really sent back in white, now were you? You were sent back naked, taken to Lothlorien, and then given white robes by Galadriel. I assume I'm in Lothlorien now. It looks like I leveled up, too. So let's take care of that. We're going to end the stream fairly soon, but... Let's see. Flame of... I can't get that, huh? I gotta be level 12 for that. Spire. I would love to get that, but I probably have to do illusion first. Oh, I didn't level up, but I did get it. Just a skill point. Alright, I'm gonna go a little longer, but let's see where we even are. Are we in Lothlorien? Fangorn Forest, okay. We're in Fangorn Forest. You didn't even know they had a Lord of the Rings old school style game? Oh, there's so many of them, actually. This is one of the better ones. This is for Game Boy Advance. It's the Two Towers. Based on the movie, not the book. Oh, that's a bad graphic error. It looks like he's standing on the tree. There's a lot of priority errors in Gandalf's campaign. You get to play as a bunch of different characters, and they all have their own levels and everything. We already did, Oh, Crabine! We already did Aragorn, so now we're playing Gandalf. Whoa! Just random fire? What is this, Feanor's friggin' ghost? Get out of here. I think those are supposed to be, like will-o-wisps or something, I don't know. So we're actually in Fangorn Forest. Okay. That is where, oh, there's wargs here. That is where Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas found Gandalf. Alright. Yeah, I don't want to go, like, super long, but we'll go a little bit later. Oh! I think when I played Aragorn, I seem to remember these fire things. I don't know what they're supposed to be, really. Very strange. What is that? Urkai? An Urkai that doesn't want to fight me. He's just standing there with that crossbow, looking confused. Ow, you block-headed brace girdle from Hard Bottle. Well, that's great. Stupid Kravan. Get out of here. Yeah, I don't quite understand the fire spirits. That must be the Entwash River. Just an ordinary ward carrying elven lembas bread? Why not? Little lembas bread as a treat. The enemy alert thing is a lot smaller than before, at least. Until we run into like a bunch more drum solo playing orcs. That one Uruk-hai really isn't interested in... Oh god. Really isn't all that interested in me. Weird. Very strange. Alright. Can't quite... oh, no, no. Okay. Maybe if I... No. Where am I going? Can I just... No. Alright.
visit is never lost. He just wanders a bit. Why, the elves called me Mithrandir, the Grey Wanderer.
There's gotta be another path. Never played this game. You played some games that play like this when you're younger. It's a pretty... and what's up, Vigilus? It's a pretty common sort of ARPG sort of trope. You know, if you've played like Diablo or whatever, it's just gonna feel pretty similar. Yeah, I don't know exactly where to go. I mean, I thought I knew where to go, but it was all blocked out. I'll try to figure it out again. See, I would have thought you go up this direction. This is where you found a treasure chest. There was an Uruk-hai here. But then you just can't really go any further. Like, you can't squeeze through there. Nor could you squeeze through here. So I am a little bit at a loss. There's got to be another path. I just haven't found it. The music here is very Chrono Trigger-ish. I mean, we've already tried up here, but it's all cliff. And then I assume this is the Entwash River. Oh wait, there's a... Okay, rocks here. Okay. Cross the Entwash. More Uruk-hai. No. Wrong spell. I definitely don't need a medallion. Whoa, wargs! Hello. Down, boy. Whoa, more Uruk-hai. Oh my god, Moogle, you're now Moo. You're Moo now. I thought it was funny when somebody called you Moob. Now you're Moo. Moo, moo, moo. I am a cow. Moo, moo, moo. Yeah, Jesus, Moo. Oh, it's a regular Orc jamboree here. Orcs shouldn't be so dark colored, by the way. They should really be silvery color. Oh boy. Moogle's always picking up new nicknames, so... You gotta wonder why Saruman, at least movie Saruman, was giving his guys executioner-style swords, which are not really great for battle. Moosers, yeah. Trying to heal, but waiting for my monitor to recharge a bit more. That was a pretty bad heal. Like I said, next level up, I'd like to upgrade that heal. Oh, this guy is... This is worse than Lurtz. Put Lurtz in the driver's seat. Ah, oh, he got me! Dang. I will try again. At least I know which way to go now. This may be the game's way of saying it is time to rest. You must end the stream. So I don't understand the fire spirits. That's not anything Tolkien wrote. Certainly not in the movie, which this is based off of. See, now who is Tolkien? Oh, the Crabine do that. That's right. I gotta remember that Crabine alert the other enemies. And two of them did get away from me, so... I mean, there was a guy in the Silmarillion whose name meant Spirit of Fire, but not quite so literally as that. Alright. So I gotta cross the Entwash. know there's fire spirits that come out of that one tree with the cobweb on it.
Screw you, Feanor.
Actually, Gandalf is the only character in the Lord of the Rings to mention Feanor. He told Pippin a little bit about him. Or he just mentioned him to Pippin, I should say. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? I should have ended by now, but here I am trying to pass this part. Lurk and Twerk, I got you. I'm well over time where I should have ended, but I'm having fun, so... I just want to get past those orcs that killed me before. Which I'm pretty sure is... This is one of them. Oh my god, I can't believe how much damage they do. But yeah, I don't know why Saruman, at least movie Saruman, was so insistent on giving his guys like these weird executioner style swords, which are not really all that useful in a real combat situation. You know, removes the head nicely, yes. What, Glamdring? You mean the sword that he should already have was sitting here in some wolf's belly, like a Silmaril? We just found Gandalf's actual sword. Well, King Turgon's sword. Oh god, the stats are amazing. Looks like I would have to... Oh, wow. Alright. That's so cool. Alright. We found Glamdring. I feel like I should at least get to, like, a scene transition or something before I end it. Wait, I found a really good relic. Let me, save it. Glamdring. Foe Hammer. The sword of Turgon of Gondolin. I mean, if he just wants to stand there, I could just hit him with the fireworks a bunch of times. I'm fine with that. Sarah, did you see that Napalm Death NPR concert? Just looking for a logical endpoint. Oh god. Ooh, that was a good strike. I gotta remember that powered up strike has a lot of extra range to it. So I can hit them from... Like, even Aragorn was able to hit people from pretty far away. If you knew how to stand, but with him, it's just... a little different. None of you have a weapon that could harm me. Meanwhile, Aragorn was holding a weapon that harms Sauron, but alright. Ooh. Stupid Urukai, you go squish. Big red guy there. Because then when they start coming color-coded, you know you're in trouble. So does anyone know why Glamdring is called that? Let's see if anybody knows this. I'm getting a lot of them parrying me right here. Yeah, I get it. You're holding medium punch and medium kick at the same time. Wonderful. Bloody marvelous. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Let's kind of hide over here and heal. Is
The reason it's called Glamdring is because Turgon swing his sword like a hammer. We're just gonna brawl. Hey, there's a level up. Bronze cloth shirt? Bronze cloth shirt? That doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Is it made of bronze or is it made of cloth? Yeah, it's not good, so. Like I said, I'm just looking for a natural endpoint. I leveled up though, so. Alright, I said the next time I would level that up, so let's do that. And once more, I'm pumping it in mostly into defense because I keep getting absolutely massacred. Nope. Ow. No! He got away. There it goes. Yeah, bong. You knew that was going to happen. Cross the Entwash again. So if he's actually heading north, which is what it certainly seems like, it would mean that he's heading deeper into the forest, assuming that he entered from Rohan. I would actually like to take a look at the map real quick. Fangorn. Reunite with Aragorn and Legolas in Fangorn Forest. Artifacts? Let me look at that. Oh, we found Balin's book, Bilbo's map. Okay, that's cool. I wonder what these... This looks like a cloak. That looks like a horn. It's probably like Boromir's horn or something. That looks like a lantern? Or a cloak or something? What is that? That looks like, Oh, that's the Shards of Narsil, isn't it? That's the Shards of Narsil. No. Denied. Alright, there. That's our logical stopping point. It's almost 11 o'clock. So we're going to save it. We're going to go over the schedule. If you're watching on YouTube, the live's going to end. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to raid somebody. Let me also make one of those save states. Oh, that's load. There we go. Save. Right there. Okay, so we're going to head over here. If you're watching on YouTube, let's see. Should be live next week. Yes, next week, Thursday the 23rd, we'll be back here reading more of The Return of the King, which I believe we did the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. So that means our next section will be the Pyre of Denethor. And if we got time, we go on to the Houses of Healing, which I think is one of the funnier chapters in the entirety of The Lord of the Rings, in terms of all the bantering with Merry, Pippin, and Aragorn. There's some rather amusing stuff in there. And in 3 weeks, which will be August 6th, we'll have the Council of Tolkien. I'll have Matt and Sid with me. If you're watching on Twitch, of course, tomorrow, Dragon Quest VII. Saturday, Xenoblade 3. Sunday, Deltarune. Monday, Street Fighter 6. Tuesday, Chasm. Wednesday, Power Rush Simulator 2. Thursday, you guys know Tolkien reading stream. So that being said, let's find somebody that we could raid on Twitch. And like I said, for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for coming by. We don't do raids on YouTube because it's not a mechanic that they have. They should have it. That would be cool. Although I don't know how I would do 2 at once. Who are we raiding today? Let's see. Zelda, I just raided you. These people, I don't even know who they are anymore. Who is Sandwichard? Like, there's some people I don't even know. Who is Sandwichard? It might be somebody who changed their name. Scope that out. Nope, I don't know who that is at all. I'm gonna raid Stray. He's playing. It says Super Mario Galaxy, but it does not look like he's playing Super Mario. Oh, he's on Be Right Back. That's why. Maybe not then. Sarah Save. What is she doing? Skyrim. Let's raid her. Okay, and I'll give you guys the Twitch side I'll give you guys a raid call. The goose got in there. All right, guys, there's your raid call. Copy it, paste it as we head into Sarah Save's channel. For those of you on YouTube, I bid you a good night.